So,
Okay, there we go. I'm unmuted. Okay. Actually, let me change the category and everything. Yes. Did you enjoy that fuck fest of a boss?
yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was quite poggers, as the kids say, and as
The
you
kids do
apparently
in
say.
fact say that, as do I, who is evidently not a child.
Yes, yeah, I evidently right.
I think it's very self-evident.
I'm gonna
What
read
sort of child would use the word evident?
the word. Hey, my bromeister, do you want to finish your towel today? Yeah.
Yeah,
When's
no,
about
you
were you
you
thinking?
missed the
Like
part
one?
where I said
Sure.
that on stream.
I know you said it on stream because how would you ever say that in any
Well,
other
I'm sure I can probably look back into the past and just see all of the terrible, stupid things that I said to you here.
Sure. Do you want to stream it, Broad? Sure. LOL. Thanks, my little pog champ. Lips emoji.
Now I
That's
just,
not.
I just, I just went up. I just like scrolled up a little bit in my phone, and I'm seeing on Wednesday, April 20th. I said, okay, final two parts of Betrayer are good to go. Which wow, we took some time doing that. Also, lol 420 herb emoji, and then I sent you 3 herb emojis.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Yeah. That sounds right. I actually
Exactly.
surprising don't do a lot of bits with you in. Like I am actually pretty
I feel like
straightforward in
I
this.
pick up the slack on that.
Well, it's because I don't want you to be like misinterpreting me, and I'm like, oh yeah, actually, I was just joking when I said get here at 1.
That would be weird. No, I wasn't joking about that. That run just went long.
No, I know.
Doc's doing weed and doing herb emojis.
I mean, it was
I think that, as the kids say, once again, that's how you say weed, right?
the herb emojis felt out of place. It felt like you were deliberately choosing something that wasn't obviously weed.
What do you think that the Google Corporation has put a marijuana leaf, or perhaps the sort of fat dart that you would chuff back in their emoji catalog?
Well, when we did the 420 series, the 60 episode 69 of the Persona
Man, if we waited
Apocalypse.
like one more year, we could have just gotten high for that.
Yeah.
We should go do that anyway. I'm willing to try it out again. Rolled
Yeah.
up herb smoke. Being based on what? Could that? Nah. Anyway,
Well, we could always do the stream on like 6 9. Oh wait, no.
there's
No,
a shit emoji. Shit is not as like nobody's getting high. Jankum. Nobody actually gets high on that though.
Yeah, but like, what about like the stoned ape theory of where they got like where mushrooms grew? I don't know.
Go on.
I don't know.
I
I
thought this
just
was an
assumed
NFT thing when you started that out.
I assumed that the mushrooms in the stoned ape theory grew on just some shit that was like, I don't know.
I mean, they might. I think that's how psilocybin mushrooms grow. If I know how that sort of thing works,
I don't.
and I don't.
I'm just trying to make conversation here.
Oh yeah. Eggplant and peaches emoji. Nobody's getting high on eggplants or peaches.
Oh geez, I'm not as charismatic. Just trying to make conversation.
I'm sorry. Look, we all can't be as charismatic as myself.
Yeah.
who just was dripping with salt and sarcasm as I was doing that 10-minute boss fight.
Yeah, that was pretty poggers though.
Truly, that was some peak entertainment, just seeing me get quietly but undeniably angrier at the fact that I have to do this boss.
Does poggers mean something? Does it always mean something good, or is it kind of like a floating signifier? It's like somebody say, "Oh yeah,
it
that
pretty
was
much
really
is universally
poggers."
for good stuff. General
That-
excitement is how I would explain
guess you-
it, but you know.
Okay, yeah, and I guess you can't really use it sarcastically. It's like, "Oh, that was really poggers." Like that. Oh, that was poggers.
I think
that
when
was
something
the height
is
of
as
pog.
inherently ridiculous as the idea of the Pog Champ, it's like, no, it's hard to use that sarcastically or ironically in any way.
Is it based on those like pogs from the 80s or whatever?
I don't know what the hell they were thinking when they called it Pog Champ.
milk caps.
They were indeed milk caps.
Mhm.
Genetic modification to cross peaches with the devil's lettuce. Yes, there was a Simpsons episode about that.
Yeah. Are you talking about the tobacco episode?
Of course, I'm talking about the tobacco episode.
I was just thinking about that. Like, that isn't like a really like it's like late. Like it was like season
Yo,
11, season 12.
people always are down on people not down. People always do not like the 8+ season. But I'm telling you right now, seasons 9, 10, 11, and 12 have some of the most quotable moments, and like even if they're not very good, they're still very like memorable in their own
Yeah,
way.
like they from that episode specifically, I remember that they had that parody of Love Shack, and it was like glove slap, I don't take crap. Like that's memorable.
That I
Whatever
do
else.
not remember. I mostly remember it tastes like grandma. And then, of course, followed by Chief Wiggum eating it and saying it does taste like grandma.
That is pretty good. Okay.
When you say the word
This
pog, you're doing the
itself
facial
is
expression
like,
of pogging. I mean, that's presumably what it would mean.
by the way, season 11 is like 20 years old.
I
Just
don't know. It
for
feels like it,
perspective.
doesn't it? I feel like Simpsons has been just on since time immemorial.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like it never went away. It is eternal.
Now,
Let's see
where
what
are
we got.
we
We
with
got
the
Sexy
Sexy
Fighter, Sexy Girls Puzzle, Sexy Miss, Sexy Sniper, Sexy Invaders. Ah, here we go. The Sexy Brutality.
Oh, okay. You're just going through all your sexy games,
Now what?
sexy tabs, sexy games. What are you going through right now?
Oh, that was
Right.
I just typed in sexy to try and find the correct category for this game.
Oh, okay. I see.
And I was listing off all of the games that they gave me as
Sounded
suggestions.
like you were going through like a Rolodex.
Yes, I was going through my Steam library. Look forward to a full playthrough of Rabby Ribby and Wife Quest coming up.
Honestly,
And
I don't
Changed
know.
for the people that are into explicitly non-sexual, but still very heavily implied to be sexual.
Do you ever get games on like a Steam sale or whatever?
No, because I play all the games I have.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking.
That's why I don't hoard
Like-
them, because I'm going to play them all.
Yeah, like you don't ever go out of your way to like to. Oh, it's $5. I know I'm going to play it. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Like no, you just play it one at a time.
I play them when I look. I get them when I want to get them, and then I
I
play
have.
games.
Like
I don't wait for
600
sales
games.
on anything. But when the
I
Simpsons
understand.
really fall off, well, it fell off around like what, season 6 or so, and then season 8, Homer's Enemy is usually the point where people like to say that that's kind of like where it got really bad. Either that or The Principal and the Pauper for the really big turning point. I think that it got uneven, of course, over time, but it was pretty good right up until Behind the Laughter. And that's pretty much the last of what you would consider like classic Simpsons.
The golden era. Yeah, that would probably be.
And it was getting uneven there, very uneven by the end.
I guess I only have like 282 games. It's not ridiculous.
Got a few. I get them when I want to get them. Yeah, that's me.
Oh,
Look,
Silver
I'm
Linings.
not somebody that just wildly goes out and buys things wantonly. No, if I want to play a game, I will just go get that game and I'll play that game.
No, that makes sense. I mean, but
And then when I
they
finish that
they're
game,
always,
it goes into the completed folder. And then, it's just I got like 89 completed games, and I got 22 on deck games.
Well, for me, I don't pay attention to streams.
Of course, I
Like,
played way more than that, but they don't all appear on Steam.
I don't have any source of like recommendations other than like random things I hear about from friends or on the Discord or you mentioning them. So I
Did you
just
say that you got Pony Island?
yes, I did. I started playing that. I got through the first ticket or whatever, the first file. I don't know.
Yeah,
how long.
there's only 3 of them. It's not a super long game.
Okay,
And
yeah,
like I was saying, that is a game that was more of a prep up for a later game I'm doing, Inscription, which that's a I want to say probably the meatiest of those games, but I wanted to go through, let's get the full discography so that we can see it in context, sort of thing.
I got Inscription earlier. I think Rex recommended it. I almost want to say, I forget though. Just somebody was talking about it, and I'm just like, well, it's like $10 right now, so or
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean it was already like a devolver, game, and usually they're just like, yeah, our games are $10.
Yeah,
And you
part
can
of it
have
is
a good
just
time with them. That's kind
I'm
of like
I'm
their
not like
business model.
if I was paying $60 for a game, I'm usually pretty squeamish about that, like an actual AAA game. I usually don't do that, but it's like if it's like $10, I'm like, oh yeah, well, it's one of the best games I've ever played, and it was $10. Okay,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah, you telling me that about that before.
Yeah, I think I probably spent like less than $2,000 on Steam ever. Like, I mean, I think I was. How many points do I have?
I don't know.
I,
I'm probably going to
I
be spending more.
I'm
I'm
not.
going to be getting a Hitman 3 soon enough. I got that one on deck now.
Let's see. I've got 156,000 Steam points. So I probably spent $1,500 all time, which really isn't that much considering
No.
I've been on Steam for 15 years
Still, if I
probably.
had $1,500 right now, I do. What am I even saying? But if I was going to spend $1,500, I'd probably get an upgrade for my computer at this point so I can actually
If I
play some of
had
the games that I bought.
$1,500, yeah, yeah,
But
no, I
anyway.
made it. Hmm.
Oh, ready to do Sexy Brutality?
Yeah, yeah. Is it Sexy Brutale or Sexy Brutal? I don't know.
I always said it's Sexy Brutality, but I don't know. I legitimately do not know.
Okay. I've been saying it like
It's not it's not I should actually just turn this on here. It's not, voice acted. It's not a voice acted
okay.
game.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It's a Spanish studio, I think. So, but I'm fairly certain it's supposed to be taking place in like a Britain. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, it feels like it's in an ancient European castle
I mean,
that
I would say like, yeah, late 1800s, early 1900s.
they definitely have like an oubliette. If you haven't fallen in there, they
I
definitely
mean,
still
what do
have
you?
it
I think they
somewhere.
were pretty much starting out the episode inside of it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think that
I
might
mean,
be right.
the furnace elevator, the Firebird elevator, if you will.
Je ne veux pas oubliette. All right.
Doc, that's not how it works. We don't upgrade new PCs to play new games. We upgrade them to play old games faster. I can do both. I can do more than one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I literally like cannot play Devil May Cry or the new Doom. Without some bad frame drops.
Well, the thing is, I always like to say like the sexy brutale because like I'm thinking of that song by the Velvet Underground, the Femme Fatale.
Yeah,
She's a
yeah.
sexy
Brutal
brutale. The
Fatale would
things she
probably be a
does
good
to
comparison, but I don't
things.
really know if
She's a
they have the
sexy
same sort of
brutale.
entomology.
Tease. She's a sexy brutale. Which I guess doesn't make sense because I'm adding that extra syllable anyway in the first
We should
one.
just do the episode at this point in
Yeah,
time.
doesn't really make sense.
Just imagine playing Pokemon on a 244 hertz screen. I mean, I played it on a Game Boy. Do I need to ever play it again? Come on now. Ever again? Okay, well, let's start this one up with Audacity so that I can mess around with the.
Okay.
So
We
that I
actually
know
are
how to
recording
do
in Audacity. Okay.
the sound levels later.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, these are slightly less than 45 minutes each, I believe, and it will cover the rest of the game in these next two episodes.
Okay.
The remaining of the regular game and also secret ending. Secret ending.
Oh, there's a secret ending. What?
Well, yeah, there were the room of old habits. We saw that earlier. It had the good music in it.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. It's been like 6 months.
I know. That's why we're doing it here. We're doing it right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Look, do you know how many like months it took me to finish, say, Brain
Betrayer.
Lord? That was like a 6 months. I even made that a bit in the episode where I came back, where I'm like, "Hey, we're back to Brain Lord. Oh, it's been 6 months."
Well,
Ah!
I mean, I remember it took you a long time to do Persona. Like that took you a long time.
Well, that's for different reasons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just a long game.
That's right. We already did the Persona talk for this stream.
Yeah,
That
right.
was earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but I was saying, in short, man, that part where the final boss was a literal ship of state sailing through the ruins of Tokyo was more thoughtful and intelligent than any dialogue that actually appeared in the game.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Like the designers did such a good job in that game for such a terrible script. Of course, then they talked about it for like 5 minutes, trying to be like, it's like this. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking get it.
Well, that's one of those things where anytime you have visual design that's really thoughtful and stuff, you don't necessarily have to have the characters explain it. Sometimes that would make it worse if they actually did explain everything that was
just
happening.
dissecting the frog. But I mean, that's what they did.
I think the real problem was that the writing wasn't very thoughtful. It wasn't equally thoughtful. It really.
Well, it can continue to go on that for a while, but we're finished with that series.
Yes. Well, it's not finished with us, apparently.
No, never. But it's a burden. Well, for me at least, I don't know about you. It's my burden to bear.
Yes.
Not to be confused with Persona 4, which is my bear to burden. There's a bear in that game.
Well, I'll never be your beast of burden.
Won't you?
Possibly. I don't know.
Well, let's see how you do in this upcoming episode.
Okay, I will try not to drag us down.
And this is what you're missing every single fucking time we start up one of these things.
Yeah. The classic.
Like literally every single fucking.
We're not performing, by the way. I know we literally have an audience here, but we're not actually. This is just actually how we sound.
This is just fucking how we sound all the time.
I
just want to point that out so that people feel bad for me in the future. Anyway,
we have podcaster brain.
Okay.
Everything's got to be a bit,
all and right. Then testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Sounds good to me. You're ready to start up the final 2 episodes. Yeah, there's actually a second episode after this one.
Oh, that's real poggers. Of course
not
I knew
poggers.
About this.
Shut up. Is it? I don't know. It depends on how much you like.
I don't know. I mean, I'm acting like I'm surprised, but I'm not.
I told you this so. Like I don't. Speaking of explaining
it's
things,
so
don't need
damn
to explain.
abstract.
Anyway, let's fucking do this already. Okay,
let's do it.
Audacity.
Yes, I do.
Now let's start about Audacity then in 5 4 3 2 now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, starting up the episode then in 5 4 3 2 now. Another lovely Saturday at Sexy Brutale. It's the same Saturday, but actually we can't even tell if it's very lovely. We're kind of underground right now. I guess we're restarting this one.
Yeah, I thought you had restarted it, but yeah. Well, we can keep no, this is terrible.
What do you mean it's terrible? I start out every episode in the same way. It's the time loop bit.
I thought the pause and the play on the screen.
That's
part of the game. Okay.
I mean, you can tell when I'm starting up the episode when I say 5 4 3 2 now and then start talking. I know you're watching this one on stream because there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to stream at the same time that I'm dual streaming this to you. I'm sorry, but just imagine what's going on, and then keep reticent until you can actually see it. This is going to be a nightmare. Anyway, let's start up Audacity then in 5 4 3 2 now.
Hold on. Okay, what?
Okay, I was going to say it's like, what? Are you dying over there? Because if you die, we're going to have a hard time finishing the series.
No, it's pretty easy to. First of all, I disagree with you. It's pretty easy to finish. But yeah, no, I'm ready.
All right, fine. Let's start up Audacity then let's cut in the fake Aegis Rim clock, fake time travel.
Okay, no. After I died. This is not.
Let's get that out of the way because that made me laugh. But it would actually be kind of a good bit while we were doing those side by side to just have like the transition screen swap between the two at some point. Well, we're kind of a little bit late now for that. Damn, that would have actually been a good bit. I didn't even consider it. Well, anyway, okay. Starting up Audacity then in 5 4 3 2 now.
Yep.
Starting up the episode then in 5 4 3 2 Now, another lovely Saturday at the Sexy Brutale. It's the same Saturday, but actually, we can't even tell if it's lovely. We're currently underground after going down in the Firebird Furnace elevator. But hey, at least don't have to worry about it being a little bit too late in the day. It automatically does this. I didn't even try to activate the watch there.
So what is our goal for today?
Now that is an interesting question because, of course, well, we don't really have anybody to save now. There's, as of the last episode, Thanos and Orym were kind of the last guests of the entire hotel. The only person that is remaining is, well, the mysterious Marquis. Are we going to find something out about that in this episode? Oh, you know it. Because after all, we're diving into the very depths of the entire hotel where secrets of all kinds tend to be kept, right?
I remember that at the end of the last episode, we went down in this elevator after we saved someone. Is that right?
2 people, in fact.
Yeah.
The goldsmith and the architect.
Yes.
And so I got the ability now to look around and see what each of the... That's where I get all the room lore that I've been showing up until this point. Handwritten in mirror. Oh, shut up. Is that a Count of Monte Cristo reference?
Or a Leonardo da Vinci.
No, he didn't write. It wasn't mirror writing. He wrote it with his left hand. But anyway. And yeah, by the way, there's the dumbwaiter. If you're wondering where that well, there's the playing card. But if you're wondering where that hand that I was getting out of there actually went, and because we're stuck in a time loop, is that going to be meaningful? It's a clever little puzzle solution.
Okay.
This is all one of those things where it's just like if we didn't spend 6 months in between every episode, that would make no sense. My inability to have any sort of consistent way of putting out content remains as terrible as ever. I didn't even remember it coming out this fast, but there you go.
We really need to stop ending the tours in the basement.
Well, whatever. Look. If you're going to watch content on my channel, I would highly recommend instead, waiting until the series is done so that you're not extremely frustrated by the infrequency of episodes coming out. Look, make an entire evening of it. Pour yourself a glass of brandy, sit down with your trying to even think like poisoned drinks and Firebird stuff. I'm trying to make some sort of comparison to this game and watch the episode.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Always
you'll get it right.
Episode. That's the most important thing. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to encourage.
Exactly.
I'm like during a pledge drive, in public radio.
It's a very dour paintings around here, being
encouraging you to spend money. Remember to watch the series.
All right. Yes. Yeah, as always, the mansions of the rich are very lurid and filled with many secrets.
These
hardly any sort of exception.
These seem pretty underwhelming. This basement is kind of like...
I mean, we haven't seen the entire thing just yet. We're kind of like looking through it right now, after all. And hey, there is... And this... You remember that we might have actually been into the basement previously, but this is where the real basement is at.
Ooh,
so there's that mystery solved yet again, meaning that we have even more ways to wind around the entirety of the manor here.
Yeah. I wonder if they have
about this game. Oh, by the way, we're streaming this. I don't even know if I mentioned that. I don't know nothing about this game. I'm just here for the pee-pee-poo-poo content. Don't worry, we'll be getting that as well. A little bit classier than usual. I mean, this is supposed to be... It's a murder mystery in a very rich man's mansion.
Now, is there like a coherent map showing everything, like how everything is connected?
It's on the pause screen. You just don't see me look at it an awful lot. In fact, you can see it in the upper right corner.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but is it like a consistent map? Like, if you actually like drew it out, like you used like a CAD drawing, would it be sensible?
Yeah,
or is it kind of like theater of the mind? Oh, wow, no, it is a pretty detailed.
Yeah, the problem here with how it works is the fact that some of the doors have that like ghostly blue fire around it, which is what makes it a little bit more video game layout.
Oh, okay.
And that's sort of the difference. the difference around here. Ah, yes, my flaming skeleton paintings in the background. Really
Where
add
did we
a...
deal with that, like, those walkways? Like, I remember we had something to do with that, right?
Well, as it turns out, there's actually quite a few things to be doing here. As we can see, rich people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with our giant locked tree full of wires in the basement here.
I hate it when I lose the key to my tree. And I can't open it.
You lose the key to your ornate tree in the basement. It's like, how am I gonna get my jumper cables out of there? The ones I have are getting worn out, and I'm worried that my battery is dying.
Yeah, all the bondage equipment is in the locked tree. And drugs.
Okay, realistically, yeah, that's probably what would be down there. We're in a very rich person's mansion, and as we all know, once you get to a certain amount of wealth, you do get very much into either bond.
Well, you have to.
Well,
find
then
something.
this is
money can't satisfy everything.
Money can apparently get you some interesting looking rooms, though.
Yeah, I mean, it can get you some beautiful rooms.
Ah, yes, the gambling dimension. Only true gamblers know of its location, much less how to actually access it. I'm rich enough to have a portal into it in my basement here.
That looks like an Indiana Jones puzzle where you're supposed to walk over it by naming your hand, and each card flies up to provide a step for you.
No, it's actually even more straightforward than that. I've been collecting cards the entire game. Well, once you collect certain cards...
I love the description. It's like, light this on fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, no, you got it. you got the shtick here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, this would be the bondage part of the basement. I think we can say with relative certainty.
Yeah, or just the jail. I mean, it could just be, you get rich enough, you have need for a jail on a regular basis. It's like,
what sort of needs would you describe those as?
It's the ultra rich version of just like having a guest room, which is already pretty rich.
Sexual needs.
I mean, I would say that was like a pretty comfortable jail cell. That doesn't look like a cage.
You're not actually supposed to hurt people when you're doing BDSM, you know.
Well, I know, but it's like, it's not even like humiliating. It's just like, it's a small, room. It's kind of like a little hotel room.
It sort of has a very, I don't know, modest bed in it.
I mean, motel room, I guess.
It's the motel room. I mean, they certainly have plenty of other guest rooms that exist in here, too. They don't have to put it next to the gambling dimension. Unless you're really into gambling, I suppose.
Well,
okay, I don't really know. I think I did this for just an unreasonable amount of time, by the way. I'm fairly certain that there was a cut there, if I remember correctly.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, this is not the solution to this puzzle. For
you
God's
ever
sake,
play? Like, I played puzzle games. I played this game. I think it was called like Moncage or something. Moncage, whatever. I don't know, but it was like there was this puzzle where you just gotta water this plant. You gotta go through the seasons, water the plant, and it's like this really elaborate thing. It just took me like an hour, and eventually I just had to look it up.
Also, next to the gambling dimension, we have
It was similar to the Goragoa game, if anyone's ever played that.
No, I think I have it. I think I do actually know about that one.
It's kind of the same thing. Where it's like,
so yeah, here we're in the place where they made
the right perspective.
Darth Vader, I guess.
I'm just gonna type the name into this stream chat so people know what the fuck I'm talking about.
People already said it.
Oh, they did? No, I don't think they said it. That was the one, and then
yeah, it was David Kaj.
Yeah, Chris of Omicron. No, that was the actual name. Never mind. It's not a bit.
Yeah.
That's just the actual name.
Well, the game is supposed to be called The Nomad Soul, but it was called Omicron in the English version because I don't know. Anyway, yeah, press the buttons in order. As I once again am currently trying to create Darth Vader.
Oh, is that because of the no in the background?
No, it's because of the big.
I thought that was pretty good. Come on.
The
Literally,
Da
it's
Vinci machine. Da
okay.
Vinci. Yes, this is quite the curious area so far. This is needless to say. And thankfully, for whatever reason, the gigantic... Yeah, sure, why not?
So the
And
person,
for whatever reason, the gigantic elevator we came down in is counted as a clock.
huh? Yeah.
So yeah, if you are a fan of either the gambling dimension or recursive pinball machines, we got it all down here.
The Victorian steampunk pinball machine.
I don't think this is that old.
No, I just mean that's what it looks like. It looks like it's built like an organ, like a pipe organ.
Well, that's what the Sexy Brutality I think is supposed to look like from the outside, but you never really get a good look at that. Is that a head?
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually one of the staff members who was apparently being operated on that table. Well, they have sort of a gas mask thing going on, and I guess that would be why.
Okay, so what are we doing? We're feeding gas to that person.
We started up the ventilation for that guy. Ah, wait, that was a mistake.
Okay.
We started up the ventilation for that guy, and that unlocked one of the tree thing.
Okay.
Like, this is look, by the time we get to the gambling dimension, I think that's when things get a little bit more abstract. Although we do get to see the guys here. These are the ones that red and gray, if I remember, on the stage were the ones that killed them. They're setting up that entire plot right now. Not that it really matters. We already saved them long ago. There's literally a clock on top of it. I don't know. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, I think you were the one who recommended that. Is that right? This is a good game.
Anyway, and there is also another side here, including a place to actually use that arm that I got a little bit earlier.
Okay, so there's a king. So it's all. This is such a confusing game.
Oh,
Like, what's happening at any given time? The puzzles seem like they're not that bad.
Oh no, they're actually pretty easy. I've said that before, where it's just like the puzzles are not supposed to be like extremely difficult. It's more like it's just all very finely crafted, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we saw these. We saw the robots here earlier. They're the ones that are actually manning the table that Clay was at before he got moidalized by poison.
Is that death?
I guess. Again, you get to see a lot of very some of the other like inner workings of how some of this goes around here, and also gambling dimensions. Once again, it's just from a game design perspective, this feels like they're just like throwing the kitchen sink at this. This is just like whatever they had. Oh, very much so.
Like, these are the last. They're like we've got all these assets. We need to do something with them so they're not wasted.
Yes, and if you're wondering, I did wait around in this room. Each one of the portraits goes out as the light above them goes out as they are killed in the game. It does not do anything. It's just a nice little touch. So we also get sort of a yep, right there. Sixpence just died. But yeah, we get sort of like an idea of the very short description of how they die, and if there was actually an alternate way that they were intended to die.
Well, I always hate when I'm in a mansion and I find a portrait of myself with the exact time and method of my death.
Well, yeah, but I mean, rich people. I feel like the murder room. Yeah, okay, this is also a place that we're into.
Well, I mean, and the cause of death is just like, well, then, hit in the back of the head while looking at the death portraits. That's not cool.
I just shoot him with a gun. And it's like, okay, thanks. Certainly I'm worth a little bit more than that. Can't you, like, drown me in, I don't know, a gigantic vat of Jello or something?
I can't hear the music because of the echo. What is it playing?
It is indeed. I don't know if it's playing a specific song, but it is indeed playing something when you walk on it.
Okay.
Again, good touch. I think that the only thing in there is to get the. I remember we'll see this a little bit later when I actually look at the lore stuff. But that room is supposed to be where all the announcements that we've been seeing come from.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is a very like a late 18th century way of setting up a speaker system, I guess.
Yeah.
And not every single one of these rooms has something to do with opening up the big tree. Some of them are just for cards.
Now, do you actually get to play, or is it just like overhead?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Somehow they cheaped out on creating a pinball machine for one little bit of side content.
Well, you know,
like, come on, developers, what are you thinking?
I guess it wouldn't make sense in this format because, you know, you'd have to like arrest time just so you can play a game for 5 minutes.
At the same time, it's like I've seen other games that have done dumb garbage like that before, too.
Oh, I love that kind of dumb garbage, like that mini-game stuff.
Hey, we put an entire mini-game in here to be played for 5 seconds.
But, like, somebody said that, you know, a game is good if and only if it has a fishing mini-game. And I agree with that.
By the way, it doesn't appear in Pony Island, but the fishing minigame will be appearing in the upcoming game in the Inscription trilogy. So, look forward to that. Light the tree on fire? Okay, now come on. The lighter has one very simple purpose, and it is just to... The way that it works is that we just, you know, light up candles with it. It hasn't really been appearing too much here because, you know, ghosts. Okay, yeah, sure, that's, I didn't need that statue anymore.
By the way, a locked tree, that's how trees used to be, so that's got to be at least 200 years old. But they don't make them like that anymore.
Oh yeah, I don't think that the Sexy Brutale was intended to be, of course, created by the Marquis. It wasn't like a repurposed mansion or anything like that. But he could have also just brought that in here at some point in time. He's a very rich man, you understand?
I mean, sometimes you'll see like a little keyhole on a tree, like just a little one, like because but they've kind of bred that out of trees these days. Like it's smaller if it's there at all. It's like seeds.
Yeah, they just use fobs.
Yeah, it's kind of
way
sad.
Easier and less cumbersome.
Yeah, but unless you lose the key.
Am I right? Then you got to go pay $15 to get a replacement.
I hate that.
All the jobs that I've had in recent years. I haven't actually lost that, but I do know that is a thing.
Yeah.
So here's where I figure. Okay, so if we're doing like this graveyard puzzle, that I think the borders around the characters as they appear in the guests to save and you're supposed to match that up with the flowers here.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Something like that. At least that was my going idea. But of course, there was just like, stuff like, oh, the gold flower is going to go to Aro. Of course. Yeah. The good way to put in credits. Oh, these aren't credits. These are just the characters that actually appear in the game. Much like where things are getting a lot more abstract in general. Of course, we do get... things are just getting weird. Yeah.
Yeah, this is even weirder than this game normally is. It's just
normally this game is just goofy and about a very, very rich man. Now it's just like
it's still very goofy. It's just very complicated also.
Yeah, and there's where I figured out it's like, oh, the description for each one of the flowers gives you a much better idea of where you're supposed to be putting the things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, all right, fine.
Now, are you on a time limit here, or do you have to get this all done?
I'm still on the same time limit as always. It's just,
okay.
I gotta say, you don't have too far to walk at this point, nor do you really have anywhere else to go. I guess you can exit through the secret door in the basement, but
I think you need to get all the different wires going to that tree, and then when you do that, the lock will open, and then the key will fall out.
Yes, and that's where we get the tree key.
And once you get the tree key,
I like to get tree keys.
Once you get the tree key, then you can lock it back up, and then you can unlock it with the tree key. And then you can go in and see what's inside.
That sounds like the sort of thing that would be appearing in an old school survival horror game, certainly.
Yeah. Well, you need a tree key to open the tree lock.
You need to heat up the tree key so that it turns into a rock key.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, well, there's only one other place to be going in here that isn't just like side
Petrified
content type
key.
stuff. So back into the prison. And yes, as you probably would guess, it's like it's supposed to be something you do over multiple loops instead.
Okay.
All right. And that's where I'm just like, I'm gonna restart it up. Then walk back in here, even larger. How long would a man have to water this? It's as if this might be less of a time loop than we were thinking. No, it is.
Oh, it is.
No. Oh, don't worry. I think that you can start to kind of piece together some of the stuff that's happening, but you're going to be able to do that even better as soon as we walk into the gigantic tree.
Oh, okay.
It is...
This is such a ridiculous thing to base the entire, last, main level on. It's like, oh, you gotta open that.
Last main level, you say.
Last main level, I do say.
People are gonna notice that there's not a final after this. Rich people, am I right?
I'm not trying to trick you. I know as much as you do. Oh, what is going on?
I like this part of the game. It's fun.
Yeah.
And here we got the gold mask guy. Seen him just kind of wandering around the mansion just randomly, but never in a way that you can actually talk to him. At least aside from that one point where I was able to talk to him on the stage, but yep.
That guy looks like the Burger King who's trapped.
I don't know what to say. Yes, as it turns out, this was a Burger King tie-in game where we're torturing the Burger King, forcing him to look at everybody being murdered and cry. Mm-hmm. Crying bloody tears.
Mm-hmm.
Burger King Corporation was very, very much a huge fan of that. They love that sort of direction to take
this is the new generation of the cool spot.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. Cool Spot did in fact have a video game.
Yes, that was actually quite a good game. Had a great soundtrack.
Well, as it turns out, due to the omnipresent abilities that the Gold Mask Man has over the universe, not really too much can do in that room. But hey, got a new item.
Mm-hmm.
And now, God, it took me so long to find this. It took me so long to figure out. Yes, you can actually leave through. Yeah, the fact that in the main hall here, that is considered like a stained glass window, that it's like that is in fact something else you can break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it looks like it fits in pretty well with everything. I didn't even consider that it's because where else are you supposed to be using this ring? I could not figure it out. But anyway. Yeah, here at this point, I was trying to wait around because you remember how somebody always falls out of the window? I think it's supposed to be sixpence, but I wanted to see if I could actually see that happening. And it did as soon as I went down the stairs. Damn it. Well, anyway, can't even get a good look at him, but maybe for the best. He did get shot in the face.
I just like how this game just has every element of every conceivable thing that you could have in a mansion. It has every one of them. It has everything. Name something.
As Chris Redfield would say, what a mansion.
What a mansion, what a mansion, what a mighty fine mansion.
Well, I mean, he also does say that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But I mean, of course, we have. I can peek
Knowledge
through
of
this
this
door
place.
if I wanted to.
Wait. Knowledge of this place.
That's just the ability that Thanos mask gives you. That's
Oh,
where we get
right,
the
right.
lore, the room lore.
Oh, okay.
And of course, because where else am I going to use this at this point? All right, into the vacation manor. Or not.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a guest house.
Well then.
Why is it all on fire?
And well, I'll tell you why it's probably not on fire. I'm trying to get a good segue into this next thing I'm going to say. Boy, the game runs really badly in here. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, hey, the mansion's on fire. Well,
Wow.
It seems like we have solved the problem. No, this doesn't solve anything. In fact, it actually really makes things significantly worse.
Well, that's what fire tends to do, in my experience at least.
Yes, I mean, it's rare that I start something on fire and I'm like, everything is fixed.
Yeah. Well, with a car.
Yes, Ego. Your comment before about lighting it on fire. Are you satisfied now?
You know that would be untrue. You know.
Yeah, I want to check the map real
would
quick
be
because
a
it's just like
liar.
it's the same.
If I was to say to you, we're gonna solve this problem by lighting it on fire. Let's solve problems by lighting them on fire. Let's solve
All right,
problems
look,
by lighting them
the
on
behind the painting, it's a big skull. I mean, that would be cool if I wasn't in a place that was on fire right now.
Don't solve problems by lighting them on fire. Okay, sorry.
The game kind of starts chugging here, which is weird. But anyway. All right, well, that was a fun diversion. Let me just, I think it's about time that I make my egress, if you all don't mind. It's been a lovely party. Big fan of the creative ways that you ended up murdering everybody, and I'm gonna just get going.
I think this is a good time to make your exit.
I said egress because it's a fancier word.
Yeah. Is the Irish goodbye when you leave without saying anything? Is that when you pretend to leave and then you don't? Like,
I have
for another
never
hour?
heard that phrase before.
Okay.
Well, anyway, that was fun. Time to go back into the house for real this time.
Okay. Well, it doesn't appear to be on fire.
No,
Yeah.
it actually seems to be rather pleasant out here.
Pretty normal.
Would you talk to Lucas? He seems troubled. Yeah, he sure does.
Mm-hmm.
Probably due to the whole being on fire part.
Yeah, that tends to trouble people.
They tend to be at least slightly perturbed when that sort of thing happens to them.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this is the Count's wife. The Count's Marquise.
okay.
Wife. Just like he is married. We never saw her either, but there is certainly a very similar character that has been appearing throughout the game up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just Superman style. Hug it until it turns into a diamond.
She's literally doing that. Okay. So did it literally transform? Like that used to be like a
That was
scepter.
the ring that I used to get to get into the mansion on fire and then to get out here.
Okay.
Well, he's probably not going to love it when it's a smoldering pile of rubble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get right to that. And in fact, I do believe that we are going to be getting right to that because... No, we got a lot of lore to go through. I forgot about that.
Oh.
Don't worry about that.
Are you doing a final lore dump for this second to
I
last
think
episode?
we'll still have... Yeah, this is pretty much going to be, I think, like the major final lore dump. But aside from that, you sort of get like the... I think you can start to put things together.
You are wildly overestimating my ability to put things together.
Well, we have one more episode where they're going to put it together for you. They're going to shove the puzzle pieces into your eyeballs, and you'll be able to understand it just fine.
Okay. Not unlike A Clockwork Orange.
Yes, of course. I mean, as always, it's just like, I can give you the rundown, but look, why bother when the game's going to do that itself?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, come on now. Like,
Wait,
I think we
really?
figured it out at this point in time.
The ring is going to be used as an item, and then we're gonna win the game with the item, the new.
Yes, the new item. All right. So the room where Aurum died. Specifically, they're talking about the Firebird, the furnace. There was at the top of the Heaven and Hell staircase a room that I just could not get into at all. Actually leads to the place at the very beginning of the game. And now, got the ability to go back. Also, finally, an explanation for what is the deal with these mirrors, because they are way too ornate to just not mean anything.
I thought they just didn't mean anything. Okay, well, I'm surprised.
But yes, hey, we got fast travel. We unlocked fast travel.
So this is establishing the game as a Metroidvania and a roguelike.
I mean, it's more like, hey, this is the last thing, so you can go and do like all the card collection and whatnot, because there are still cards and everything around here.
Okay.
Oh, hey man, I'm back. You're not gonna try and kill me again, or whatever you're going to do.
Any game with fast travel is a Metroidvania. If it isn't.
Yeah, because Metroid, very well known for having fast travel.
Well, I mean, if it isn't immediately available to you, but you get it through an item upgrade, then it's a Metroidvania.
I don't even know. I don't even remember when any sort of Metroid game actually did that.
Yeah, but they have the doors that you can't open until later.
That's true. They do. Convenient. It's convenient, like I said, mostly for the sake of like doing a little bit of extra like secret collection than anything else. Getting the rest of the invitations or the cards, for example.
I'm sorry. This is where my contribution to the episode just goes into a tailspin.
And you weren't even streaming Binding of Isaac for 4 hours before this.
I know. I have half an hour of banter in me.
I can't believe we have another episode to record.
I know. And we'll do it, but it won't be good.
Well, how's that different than anything else that we do?
That's true. Yeah.
Yep. Now we're getting it's actually very like this reminds me of like Persona 4 music. Something about that. Neat. I suppose this comes with the ability to do like time travel and all that. Disbelief, agony, some very blobby CGI blood, like he's in an old Star Trek movie. I don't think we ever actually got to see Clay die specifically.
From gamblers to the gambling dimension.
Yes. Oh, if only he knew. If only he knew about the gambling dimension, we could have sent him down there. I don't even know how we would play with gigantic novelty cards, but certainly the sense of peace that you get from going in there would be enough. Sad robot.
Oh, so
I guess I did actually go and wrest the invitation off of him, but I don't think I showed that on camera. Remember this pretty well. We do also get to see the other woman that I cannot remember the name of, who got dumped in here.
So we're just doing a full world tour of all the people who get killed, and that we save in one timeline.
Of course, you also do get like the explanation of, I never actually owned something this big, but I would have liked to. Yep. Barely tequila. That's right.
Mhm.
Tequila dumped in here at the end of her death. This goofy one. with the silly top hat and everything.
Tequila's body is covered in deep cuts.
Man, we really do have like a what am I trying to think of? A delay time between this.
No, I just was slow. I was trying to think of like a deep cut, from music.
Covered in
or a deep
Rolling Stone
reference.
albums. Okay.
That's not a deep cut. That's one of the most popular bands in history.
But didn't they have an album called Deep Cuts? That's like the famous one.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't know about it.
I thought it was them, but I thought you would back me up on this.
But that's not a deep cut then. But I didn't know about it, so maybe it was.
Is it deep enough that you don't know about it?
It is, yeah.
Come on now. Anyway, after she died in a very poetic manner, I just threw her in the garbage. Look, I was kind of running out of ideas at this point in time. Still, the way she died was pretty impressive.
I murdered her with the notes of a song.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then,
Don McLean to Roberta Flack.
Well, anyway.
Wait,
Okay, this
is that
guy's
too
at least
deep
having a
cut?
good time, I guess. Whatever. Yeah. This is the most literally and figuratively theatrical of them, I feel like.
I mean, yeah.
And then it ceased being a party as soon as they were gone.
Now, is this the actual layout of the mansion, or are
Oh
you
God,
just
no! We
happy-
are in wacky.
This is like
town.
okay. I was gonna say it seems pretty odd that we're going right through all of these, but yeah, no, of course. These
So
are
yes,
different
yes,
parts of the mansion.
and the way that the Golden Masked Man is talking wistfully about how, like, oh man, if only I actually did own a giant spider. And let me tell you, that stupid fish you saw was not actually real. That's not.
Okay.
Yes, I did own a big dumb fish, but that's not what it looked like. Are you starting to get it now?
This is the problem with like subtext, is that I have trouble interpreting the
Also, the
text.
6 months thing. Yep. That would have been something. I feel like that would be more befitting of a place that I owned if I was incredibly rich, but it's
So he did have a
I do
mansion.
get the sense, speaking of having certain pride in your work, that
Yeah.
I made a big, huge. Yeah, that's right. I dreamed up a big, huge fire furnace elevator thing.
Yeah. So he had a mansion. It just was pretty boring, actually.
Or at
Like
the very
his-
least, it wasn't as fantastic.
It wasn't quite as extra as this.
No, certainly they didn't have any sort of a top hat wearing fish inside of it.
Okay. What a shame. If only I had a fish with a top.
Yeah. Very disgusting. I'm literally disgusted by you. Yes, there is indeed one more person that we've seen on the pause screen the entire time here, but
there's
still
one
has yet
person.
to make an appearance. Okay, you know who it is.
Wait, is it me?
That's right, it was you.
It was me all along?
By having my computer be used as a soul portal for so many different games,
Especially the
who was able
Nomad
to
Soul.
entrap your immortal soul within it.
What?
And you have
I'm
been
sorry.
dying continuously for the past 6 months. We really should have done this series sooner.
Yes, this was the epic. This was the epic thing you were building towards. It was all me. It was always about me all along.
Yep. A
Of
good game that
course.
came out
to
many
be.
years ago at this point in time that
It
I
had
certainly
to
had
be
nothing to do
about-
with.
That's why you couldn't play it. That's why we had to wait to finish it so long, because it was me. And after this, I'm gonna die.
Well, no, more like after this is going to be delisted from Steam due to Soul Portal reasons. I think that's against TOS.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know how that you know how that they're real big sticklers for entrapping people's souls in video games, which is a wonder. I think David Cage must have them on like the payroll or something, which is the only reason why Omicron's still up there.
Well, I mean, I think Epic Games doesn't have any, you know.
Oh, that's just written into the end user license agreement for using the Epic Store in the first place. It just takes your soul.
It's also $30.
Oh man, you had to pay in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Eleanor, you know somehow that the grave is real and she is here. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, here's the actual door that I'm supposed to be going through.
Mm-hmm.
A ring time. Oh no, we got some time before we use the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's this door that we're going to use the ring on, but we got one more episode, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, the steam room.
Yes, that's where they keep the steam for the steamed hams.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, clean up. So, here's what the gambling dimension actually looks like when you got all the cards.
Okay.
And at the end of it, you get to the Ace of Hearts. Pretty fitting, I would like to say so. But yeah, you do need to get like each one of the cards in later on before you're even able to go in there. I assume
every other card you have to get before you can do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, not every other card, but some of the more obscure ones.
Okay.
All right, and here we got Thanos, who I was, I guess, technically able to get in the previous episode if I was just going to wait around in this room, but this episode is supposed to be about the gigantic evidence basement that wraps up the murder mystery.
Okay.
So it makes a little bit more sense that...
So this is the war section.
Yep, we are firmly in Lore Town, baby.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Getting all of the lore about, you know, each one of the very weird abstract fantasy rooms, like even more fantasy than normal now that we've kind of like had that reveal here. Broken mask, okay. I don't know about that. It's clearly a giant, it is clearly intended to be a giant tree, really. Come on. Saw this earlier, but you know.
Well, trees, it has a lock like all trees, so.
Yes, it's got the tree lock, of course. Look, we've gone over this before. It's like, how many times do we need to... Like, certainly this is a very easy to understand concept for everybody watching this video right now.
Of course. So much so that it's odd that we're even talking about it.
Indeed. Feel hundreds, thousands of tally marks, counting the days, months, years. That's right, we're in the Everhood. No, that's a reference to a video game that I didn't even play on the channel. Yeah, it's the gambling dimension. It's Gambler's Paradise. I don't know what you're talking about.
Gambler's Paradise or Gambler's Hell?
Been living most of my life inside the card dimension. Gambling Paradise. And that is everything for the basement. Next time, the finale.
Oh, next time. I can't wait.
Which we're going to do right now.
Right now.
Right now. We're doing it right now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is actually only 35 minutes, so it's. I thought it was 45 minutes. Whatever.
It was 43 minutes. What are you talking about?
I like this part of the game. It gets real weird, and that's fun.
Not on me.
I mean, like I said, I think we all had an idea that, you know, the wacky rich man Supermaner might not have actually been, yeah. But the specifics of that we still have yet to know.
I thought it was real. I thought it was all real.
It could be. I mean, you never really know with a game like this. It's like it could just be the weird setting. 7 Sexy Brutality 7.
Yes.
Tried to play Everhood and then got part of Oh yeah. It's oh man, Everhood is it's a very specific sort of like a style that it goes for. What is the one I'm trying to think? It has this very specific ethos that it's a little bit hard to get into. It's good though. It's a good game. Like it's a really good game actually. I don't know if you ever played it.
I've never played Everhood.
check it out maybe at some point in time. People compare it a lot to it's got that sort of like casual and like very strongly defined characters, very strongly defined wacky characters, like Undertale style is usually what it gets compared to.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go back and do some audio processing with that because it's like there's a little bit of noise, but it is so humid. I absolutely refuse to turn off my air conditioning. That is like
all right, fine. I am literally sitting here in my underwear, so you know.
Let me take off my shirt. Hold on.
No, it's getting steamy in here, both literally and figuratively.
All right, actually, let me do this in a second.
All right, what is reality anyway? Well, we're going to be figuring that out pretty soon. Reality is what you make of it.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes, as it turns out, the gigantic demon that we met inside the room of old habits might not be a literal demon. Strip stream. Okay. That's right, everybody. Start stripping down. We're doing the strip stream now.
I feel a lot better. All I did was take off my shirt, and I feel a lot better.
Great. I'm glad we're not doing this in the episode.
Yes.
As always. A miserable pile of secrets. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, anyway. Okay. We got final episode here. 35 minutes, so not even as long as the previous one. And yeah, we're wrapping it up, baby.
Yep.
So are you ready? Are you?
Yes,
ready?
I am.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the sexy Bertel.
Are you ready? Okay, let me just make sure that I got the... I just realized right now, you can probably hear me testing the sound in the background there. I didn't even really think about that. Where it's like whatever sort of the random clip that I happen to pick out here and then replay.
I'm not hearing anything.
You never hear that. That's the entire thing.
Okay.
The random clip that I happen to pick out here and then replay. Only I normally hear that.
Is that Isaac on the painting on the right? Somebody asked.
Well, that is not Isaac. That's the sheriff's. It's the heaven and hell staircase. They called it that. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's start up Audacity then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting up the episode then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now. A lot of... Oh, wait, no. I have a stupid way that I start each one of the episodes. All right. Starting up again then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting up the episode then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now. Another lovely Saturday. No, it's not even the Sexy Brutale. The Sexy Brutale burned down decades ago. Where are we? What's happening? What's even going on?
Oh, wait, you weren't... I thought you were... We need to restart. I'm sorry, I stopped it. I thought you were...
Come on. I was actually just going to keep rolling with that.
Okay.
Because I like the confusion thing.
I know, but it was also confusing for me.
All right. Starting up Audacity then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting up the episode then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now. Another lovely Saturday at the Sexy Brutale, which... Wait a second, this is not even the Sexy Brutale. The Sexy Brutale burned down decades ago. What's happening? Where are we? Yeah, nothing?
I was just going to say, this is the finale of the Sexy Brutale.
Yeah, that's what you should follow that up with. This is the sexy finale.
Yes.
Yeah, why didn't you do that?
I don't know. I don't know why I do the things I do.
Anyway, starting up Audacity then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now.
Okay, hold on.
Hold
on.
Why didn't you do that? You had a good bit. I can't believe you didn't do that. How could you betray me like this? Kind of cringe. Kind of shut the fuck up.
We're doing too many bits that it's hard.
Yeah, but this is also like not even anything different than what we normally do. It's just this time people actually get to see behind the curtain.
I mean, how many times? Hold on. How many times have we tried to do this and then you immediately stopped? Like 10 times, like because you didn't.
Anyway, so we're gonna start up the episode then in. Well, we're starting up Audacity then in 5, 4, 3, 2, now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting up the episode then in 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, welcome back to another lovely Saturday at the Sexy Brutale. Wait a second, this can't be the Sexy Brutale that burned down decades ago. Where are we? What's going on?
That's right. We're in the sexy finale.
Yes, of course. That's the only way that it could possibly end. We were talking about this before. I don't even know how to pronounce. I say brutale, but it could just be brutale. It's not a voice-acted game, so it's a little bit hard to, get a grasp on some of the pronunciation of these things. Anyway, at the top of the Heaven and Hell staircase, what else but, of course, the cathedral again. We began the game in here. We're going to end the game in here. Which is,
Is that the last key
that's story writing, baby.
Are we done with getting keys?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything. It's a sexy finale, after all.
Yes. We're just driving that into the ground. It was funny the first time, yeah.
I thought it was a good bit. Oh, you're just saying that because somebody in the chat said that now it's getting stale. By the way, we're streaming this one again.
That's right. I have no principles. If someone says something different from what I believe, I instantly believe that person.
It's true. That's why I'm able to convince you to do these videos so easily.
Yeah,
it's like that terrible Ricky Gervais movie, The Invention of Lying. It was just awful. Just awful.
Just awful.
Anyway. I'm pretty sure that this game is supposed to be... Brutale sounds French, so it fits the mansion theme. I'm pretty sure that this game is supposed to be taking place in like a vaguely... well, it's taking place in some infinite void that might exist purely in the mind of a single man. But
are we
also
in a brain in a vat?
Well, yes. Well, I mean, he's literally in a vat. We've seen that. But
the Burger King.
What was I saying here? I think it's supposed to be taking place in like vaguely British area.
Like Wales or Scotland or England or Northern Ireland.
Yes, one of the places that does exist in Great Britain.
Or the Isle of Man or the Isle of Wight.
Well, anyway, poor Sixpence. Already been shot right in the chest, and now he's also got to get a bunch of shards of glass embedded in his body as well. The mysterious void. Britain. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
The gray, misty void.
It's all taking place in a gigantic henge.
Nah, they say that there's stones there. I've yet to see them.
This is what Stonehenge used to be before they tore it down, leaving only the Stonehenge.
I can't believe they did that. They unleashed so many demons by doing that.
As I said in the previous one, I'm out of banter. I've got nothing more to say.
Too bad. Anyway, I see you've been waiting for me here. And here we are, baby. We're doing it. It's happening. Took the entire game, but we finally meet the Count, who literally appears on the starting screen and is going to make an appearance a half hour before the end.
Wow. And so we're in this is the clock tower then?
Yes, this is the actual clock tower. I mean, there's a secret entrance into it from the... We saw a little bit of that during Willow's storyline, but there's a secret entrance into the actual inner workings of the clock tower in the cathedral, which is why we weren't able to get here until now.
Did we know there was a clock tower from the beginning?
Oh yeah, we could hear the we could see we could hear the ringing. We could see at least, like I said, part of it, sort of like just a gigantic shaft in Willow's storyline. That's where she died. But it is entire. It is clearly not intended to be accessed normally.
So is this big clock tower a big bomb? Is it actually a bomb? It's set to go off?
No, that's the big bomb.
Oh, okay.
The one he's carrying. Oh. We actually saw that as we were coming in here too, but it is literally an alarm clock attached to a bunch of sticks of dynamite. It is so
This game is great.
We have the platonic ideal of the bomb right
Yeah.
here.
This game is like very like Looney Tunes logic.
Absolutely. I mean,
Like,
we've seen just look at some of the ways that people have died. It's very Looney Tunes.
like you might as. I mean, they literally have a piano that kills someone. Like,
Well, I mean, it was the singing, but yeah, the close.
da, 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 da.
Oh my god, that dumb bit. It goes on for so long too.
Mhm.
I do appreciate, of course, Lux's just sort of bird-like disguise that he's going on here.
Mhm.
Yes, and so if you were wondering why it was on fire, there you are.
Mhm.
Yep. And this was actually something that we didn't, that it's like, we did not even understand when we saw it in the first episode, but if you're looking at the ledgers that actually exist up in the cathedral that, you know, are supposed to be showing the finances, they're covered in dust and clearly unused.
Mhm.
That's because, well,
Mhm.
yeah, that's right. That's right. The entire impetus of this game is insurance fraud,
Wow.
which I feel like is very befitting of a game like this.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of just like from the beginning of mysteries, it's always been a common theme, like Sherlock Holmes. Like,
He is doing insurance fraud.
yep. Wait, I wasn't supposed to get caught in the fire.
No, but I mean, that's why. Yep, and I have been wondering about that the entire game. We had seen a body fall from like the top of the mansion down into the garden. Like constantly. I assumed it was Sixpence because he was the only one up in like the upper part of the mansion. But nope, that was actually Lucas the entire time. And I'm sure if you got a good look at him in the actual garden itself, you could see that. But it was him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get for messing with insurance companies.
Yeah.
Added some flair, embellished the deaths. Yeah, and that's also what the Golden Masked Man was talking about when he said, well, I suppose Orem did sort of die by being melted into a gold bar because everybody just died in this fire the entire time. Or I guess from the explosion. It's kind of hard to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
no,
there
this
you
is kind of-
are. That is the full story. Or is it? Because we have one more person left to save after all.
Isn't that Lucas?
Yes, it's Lucas. Who do you think it is?
I kind of killed that.
No, it's the
then.
staff members.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, as of right now, we've seen sort of the entire like bit. The funny thing with the way that this puzzle works is that you have very little time that you can actually go down into the room because the only time that he leaves is for like a moment just to go get the bomb. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it is, you can get like a little bit of dialogue here and everything, but otherwise it's largely the same thing, which is why it took me a few tries to figure out exactly what I need to do.
Mm-hmm. By the way, just a random thought, but like, the Return to the Obra Dinn, you're an insurance agent.
Oh yeah, you are in that game.
Yeah.
I feel like insurance fraud, like I said, for like a sort of a semi-period piece like this, or like Obra Dinn, it's like it makes sense, right?
That's the true connective thread for all the loop games and puzzle games. It's actually you're solving the insurance mystery of what happened with the insurance.
Yeah, as it turns out, Chihiro Morimura, or I guess specifically Nenji's dad, was actually just had an insurance on the entire Earth.
Mm-hmm. All these interesting things that happen. Actually, it was just a really artful way of describing insurance fraud or lack of insurance fraud. Sometimes it's just an accident.
God knows that we could have used some insurance for the future of mankind in 13 Sentinels.
I don't think Doc has done the Obra Dinn series.
I have not.
It's a good game. I think you'd like it.
Oh, I've heard nothing but good stuff about it, but it is also like, oh man, that's going to be an entire thing. Would be fun to play though.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's how you get that hint there. Which is not the easiest thing to figure out. Yes, as it turns out, you can't just light the bomb on fire right there.
Oh, okay.
I know, it's a real big surprise.
So are you supposed to set this on fire before Lucas
Yes,
gets in
I'm
there?
the one that caused the explosion.
Yeah, all along.
It was me.
You, maybe you could make it so that maybe it's a bomb that can't be disarmed. The only way to.
They just said they got to get the cutters. Come on now.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It was it's a very simple puzzle, but like I said, there's only so much you can do because he is sitting right on that floor the entire time. That means that I'm kind of unable to really do too much while I'm waiting around here.
The witness also has an extended
What do
audio
you call the
log
witness?
about
Actually,
the
you're right. The
insurance.
witness is a time loop game. I didn't even consider that.
No, I mean it has an extended audio log about insurance fraud.
Did it?
Remember
I don't
the-
even. I
the ship.
listened to. I 100% in that game.
Remember the boat?
Was that in there? I
Yeah,
don't even remember.
there was like an audio log that like it goes on for like 5 minutes talking about this ship that was. I don't remember if it was.
Oh
mishaps,
yes,
whatever.
no, I do remember that now. Never mind.
Uh-huh. It's always been here all along. It's always been about the insurance. It's never
And
been
it's like
about
that was in fact a time loop game.
Mhm.
Wow, I think we found the connective tissue between every time loop game to exist.
Sans Undertale is an insurance investigator.
That actually like is not even entirely out of the question for a character like that. Was that game really like a time loop though? It was more like jumping around.
You're
Like
going
you were in a
through
House of Pain.
You're going through an investigation, and Sans Undertale. This is such a boring way to end it. I'm gonna get off.
Oh,
the
shut up! It's fine. I think
Okay.
this dumb bit is good. I like it. So anyway, there we go. Yes,
Mhm.
the clock on the dynamite, which is actually pretty good.
The thing with all time loop media and games has always been about ensuring that you get the right ending.
So anyway, somebody was saying in chat, you haven't mentioned to YouTube that we're still on stream. Yes, I had. I mentioned that earlier.
We are so on stream right now.
We are on and ready to go. Snap that, and we saved everybody. Everybody's alive. That's not true at all. That's not how this works.
Okay.
That is not in fact the what we are not actually in the real world.
So what happened is that Lucas didn't die when he fell out of the clock tower, but he's been on life support ever since. And
Actually?
this is like a fantasy that he's constructing where he killed them in elaborate ways.
Actually, we find out a little bit later that he's not even on life support. He apparently was for a while, but I can't remember if they mentioned it as of just yet. But that Lucas, like he went to jail for that, and he's kind of just been like bumming around for a while, feeling guilty about it.
Okay, yeah.
It's more
That's
of
how
a
you deal
metaphorical type of thing, but that is, sort of what's happening right now. He is in fact living life. So that whole like the thing with like the life support thing, I guess, was in fact something that did happen to him, and hence why it appeared here, and why each one of the crew manning the manor all look like that.
Mm-hmm.
The game's basically about his guilt complex. I'm tapping my forehead right now to show approval. Yes.
Yes.
You got it.
You got it, yeah. Sans is the weakest IRS agent, indeed. It's sort of
Only
like
one hit point and only one attack point.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, you could push him over and he'll die. Is that Megalovania I hear?
Dun-dun-dun.
See, and you were afraid that we were ending this in a boring way, and I got to talk about Megalovania.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. And the entire thing is that Eleanor did in fact die in the mansion, as with everybody else. This is not actually Eleanor. This is just his sense of, just what he thinks his wife would have wanted.
There's also a Black Mirror episode where it's a time loop and it turns out they're just being punished forever.
For insurance fraud?
I don't think it was insurance fraud. I think it was murder.
I mean, that's was there life insurance involved?
Mm-hmm.
I see. As long as it's not fart megalovania. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is. Maybe we're talking about fart skeletons. You might be like, well, that's impossible. They have no internal organs. Well, me, Dr. Inferno Firebird, the most eminent necromancer in my field, has something to show you.
Mm-hmm.
See, now that's the worst way we can end a series.
Kind of
Memory of a broken man.
Yeah, like that. I think of this like Desolation Row or something. You know, it's all these characters. You know, they've got all these interesting quirks, but they all die, and at the end, it's like
they were in fact real people. All of these people did in fact exist, and they presumably were all like this. But to be honest, this is just like Lucas's memory and understanding of them. None of it was ever real, was it?
Yeah, that's also true with Desolation Row. He says
I was trying to just go along with it because I never.
Right now, I can't. Yeah. Like, yes, these people that you mentioned. Yes, I know them. They're quite lame. I had to rearrange their faces and give them all another name.
Gasp.
Yeah.
Once again, another one of those things that I think we all saw coming. Like I pointed this out 2 episodes ago or so, where I'm just like, hey, doesn't that seem like you have like very similar names?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, here's the biggest twist of them all: Lafcadio Boone is in fact a real person, apparently.
Oh,
like this version of him.
So Lucas is a character, but Lafcadio is a real person.
Yes, the person that we're supposed to be playing as is in fact a real person. Here, it's so weird because we'll see this in the lore section later on, but it's like he is in fact a real person, and he apparently also died in the explosion as everybody else did. But here he also happens to be another aspect of Luke's personality at the same time.
Oh, this is getting weird. They're all the same person.
They were all the same person. I mean, it makes sense though, right? If it was all just a manufactured in his own mind, that of course he was going to be the one carrying out everything, and they all had like on the gas mask in the same way that he was on life support for a long time. That whole thing.
Also, he's kind of
yes. Here's you went to you were near dead, went to prison, still wasn't enough, still can't forgive himself.
By the way, not to point out something incredibly obvious, but yes, he's in a crucifixion pose.
Of course, he is. He's actually just pulling off the Christ Air move after he got a sick ollie on a skateboard. He's gonna get a lot of points from that while Superman plays in the background. This is a Tony Hawk reference.
Was Christ a playable character in Tony Hawk? I feel like he
probably at some point.
I think
like
Satan
Shrek,
was.
Spider-Man. They called it Christ Air. Certainly, they must have considered putting Jesus in there at some point.
I think we would all agree that Jesus would be an amazing skateboarder, though. Just
absolutely. He's a real radical guy. He imagined himself as Lafcadio because he respected him, and that's a part that is willing to forgive. Yep. I mean, it's again, we'll see this like a little bit later on. It's just weird because Lafcadio Boone and Lucas Bonds are 2 very similar names, which is why I thought that that's the sort of like a thing that they were going for. But it's like, oh wait, no, he's actually a real person.
Yeah. Harry is Jerry. That's a reference to the sphere. No one has seen that, have they?
I see. Well, yeah, an austere old man, a gambler in his past, somebody who was able to overcome like his vices and become eventually a man of God, which is why he was a character would like pray every time that is like an idle animation, or every time that you went to one of the cabinets that are kind of around the mansion, including inside of the ballroom.
So everyone is alive, and they're all gonna get together and have a dinner. Is that what's
no? They're actually gonna get together and have a dance party.
Oh, okay. Of course, they can jump around in this House of Pain.
I already made the House of Pain reference. You can't just bring that back.
It was a callback. It was literally just a callback. Like I
Oh,
didn't.
that's what you say when you're trying to steal bits from me. They're trying to steal my great House of Pain bits.
It was
By the way,
painful to see.
you can in fact say yes. And it literally does just restart the entire day. In which I found out the hard way there.
Wait, you want it all back? You can literally do that?
You can literally do that.
Oh my god.
I think that's, more intended like, oh, well, do you
Oh,
have,
yeah.
well, it's sort of a meaningful thing, but I think it's also like, well,
It's also
do
like,
you want to go get like the rest of the stuff here first?
yeah, make sure you get all the collectibles before you save. And it's funny because like even like D&D campaigns, we literally had that moment where
Really,
it's
you
like,
did that?
okay, well, it was a joke, but like make sure you get all your side quests done and stuff if you want.
Yeah. Point of no return. That thing in video game. I don't know if this is necessarily point. I think it's supposed to be more of a thematic thing, but still, the fact that you can actually do it, and then I did. Yeah, he's learned the shadow clone jutsu finally.
Unlimited power, or I guess no would probably be better.
Yeah, it's probably the no. I feel like the Darth Vader references that I was making before was more apropos, right?
You shut down my no when there was literally nitrous oxide in the background.
Whatever. I didn't actually notice that. That's why.
Oh, okay.
And then to finish it up, all of the puzzles are solved at the same time. I remember you asking me about that at one point in time where it's just like, would it be possible? And it's like, no, you could not do it fast enough.
Okay.
However, Ken here, did you ever use fast travel? No. I had most of the collectibles and everything already done, so I didn't even need to. It's like, no, despite the fact that I got that, it's like, no, I was actually pretty on the ball as far as collecting stuff. I didn't know that I was going to get fast travel. This is like in Crosscode where I found out that there was something that would tell you where treasure chests were, and I had already 100% completed the game, and I'm like, no, I spent so long doing that. You didn't tell me you were going to give that to me later.
Anyway, during that montage, I guess that's what montage was a reference to. Okay, well, now I know that. But during that montage, I was picturing that like the credits music for Mario 64, like that last part.
Don't. Yeah,
like it's showing all these arenas you've been to. So he finally forgave himself.
Yep. And was able to snap himself out of the cycle of guilt, both literal and figurative, that he had been in for that long. And was able to I mean, I guess the idea here was, I'm not even entirely sure if that was happening entirely as he was staring at the graves, but he ended up in the graveyard that we saw in the basement there. Finally managing to move on from his guilt over murdering everybody in this entire game years and years ago. Do you like the story of this game? I did. I really like this game a lot. I think this game is really good. But even then, we're still actually not over here. I never went into this room, so I just kind of walked in here to get like all the lore stuff. Just in case you were curious about that.
I think that's a satisfying ending.
I feel like, I feel like
it kind of explains everything that happened in a way that
explains
feels...
everything that happened. Like, the really weird, goofy nonsense makes a lot more sense when you put it in this context and everything like that. I think it works out pretty well.
Yeah. And it almost becomes like, well, yeah, it feels like the interior of his mind because it is. And it's like,
yes, it's supposed to have like a dreamlike logic because it is literally intended to be that way.
But it also has this...
to go around here and grab every card that I can.
Yeah, but it also seems like, oh, okay, well, it's based on real events, so it has this sort of verisimilitude. It feels like this could have really been a real mansion, except for a lot of the things that are silly.
Except for the way too fantastic parts of it.
Yes, it feels like someone's recollection of their childhood house or something.
Yep. It's supposed to be happening decades in the future, that it makes sense.
Things are just a little bit exaggerated, but
I also do appreciate that not everybody died. That it's not like, oh, we're all in purgatory or whatever. It's just like, no, it really is the story of one man.
Yeah, I actually don't really love that when like a time loop game tries to explain everything and then that's the central fact of the universe. Like, no, it's a Groundhog Day. It's about the one guy, and then he gets out of it, and then they move on in a happy relationship. Like,
Yeah.
if it gets too big, then it's like, if this is the story of the universe, then it's not very interesting. I don't
Do
think
we
like
want
the
to go talk
clockwork.
about like? I mean, yeah, that's again. That's something I talk about a lot with video games, where it's like the. Oh, by the way, there we go. That's something I talk about a lot in video games, where I feel like the save the world plot is a little bit too overplayed because it
Yeah.
puts like incredible stakes, but also like very dull stakes
Yeah,
sometimes.
and we definitely felt that with like 13 Sentinels. It just, it felt like it was trying to be too much. It was trying to do too
Yeah,
much
too
with that story.
huge.
Yeah, it's just like, just have a story about a character. Like, this is great. Like, it's about guilt. It's
Yeah,
about
it's
dealing with.
it's a little bit maudlin, and I do think that the whole like "and you were the main character the entire time" is cheesy. But you know what?
Yeah,
I think it works all very good. I really like just how much thought was put into every single aspect of
yeah.
this game. It's very well thought out in a way that I enjoyed.
Hmm.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, writer? Not save the world? I think we talked about this even when we were doing like a Final Fantasy, where you mentioned somebody online or something. It's like having the stakes of saving the world means that if you can't really fail.
Hmm.
You cannot fail because it's a bit well, or if you are going to fail, that's a pretty bold move on your part.
Yeah.
So it's like I prefer in games when we have just a smaller story talking about individual people. I was talking about Crosscode earlier, and even insofar as there were in fact lives at stake at certain points, it still had an air of being. I guess what I want to say is that I really prefer a lot when games have smaller scopes to them, and I feel like I'm a lot more engaged when a game has a smaller scope and
Yeah.
lower stakes, but the ones that are
Well,
still important.
well, I think you can have the high stakes as long as they're kind of earned through the character relationships. If you start out setting out to save the world, that just feels like, if it turns out you're saving the world in the course of saving this character, I feel like that works a lot better.
Yeah, I mean that's the entire thing where it's just like I want to care about the character first, and then I want to care about the sort of vague the MacGuffin or whatever they have to get second.
Mm. Hmm.
Outer
Yeah.
Wilds, oh man, how does insurance fraud fit into that game though?
I am
I was actually
curious.
watching a playthrough of that game recently. Damn,
I
it looks
played.
pretty good,
Yeah,
but I
it's
don't know
a
if
lot
I'm
of.
going to end up playing it myself.
I've played 4 or 5 hours of it. I haven't finished it, but yeah, no, it's pretty good.
I hear
So,
the ending is actually pretty great.
ooh,
I
okay.
only know basically what happens in it because, of course, I know everything about every game that I'm interested in anyway.
Yeah, of course. You never buy it. You learn it from streamers or let's
Or
play.
I learn it from streamers and then I buy it and play it.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Did you know how
I guess
this went?
spoilers do not affect me nearly as much as they do, feel like everybody else.
Now, did you know how this one would end?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I had a pretty good eye. I
Yeah.
feel like they built up
Yeah.
into it in a way that as Kurt Vonnegut would say, that you could guess what the ending was even if the cockroaches ate the last few pages.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this wasn't. I mean, or rather, you could pretty much get a pretty good idea. I mean, it was different from
Yeah.
what we were exactly expecting, but yeah.
The I mean, considering how just bring back 13 Sentinels again. It's just like I feel like I'm just getting so sick of big twists and stuff. I like things that
Yeah.
are just give me a straightforward story.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's that old saying about like twists. They should feel like unexpected but inevitable. And I think in order to do that, you have to have it only be a single twist. I
They
feel
they
like.
did of course still have the "and you were the main character," which again is just like well, whatever. That's not that big of a deal.
You know what? The cheesiness of that ending is like mirrors the cheesiness of the aesthetic. I
It
think
is.
it works.
It's true. Sex and Brutality does definitely have a lot of camp to it. I don't think anybody's going to argue that.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a campy game, but it's a well done campy game. Oh, and by the way, this is just
100%
like,
recommended. I did really
Uh-huh.
enjoy playing through this game, which is why it took me so long to end up finishing up the series, because I'm just like, well, I don't want it to just be like, all right, let's get this one in the can and put it out, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And,
Well, it still took us a long time to do Betrayer, though.
and we still had plenty of talk about like with fart skeletons. So it's like, what do you want from me? Like, frankly, I don't even know why I get so persnickety about these sometimes. Considering we're just gonna talk about fart skeletons at the end of the day, regardless.
It's all just vibes.
Yeah. So there we got Lacario Boone as like. Is like what he actually looked like, which is apparently very similar to what Lucas looks like right now.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed unnecessary to have him be a separate character. I don't know.
Actually, I think you can do 2 twists. One twist has to be kind of near like at the center, and then one twist has to be at the end. Though you can't do
you don't need to have twists constantly throughout the entire game.
Yeah, what a concept, right?
Yeah. Are you sure you don't have to promise a twist and then wait 75 hours before making good on it? Even as good as it was.
You're talking about the Persona at this point? Okay, yeah, okay.
Which, I mean, at least at least by the end of that, you know what? I was like, okay, that's clever. Mm-hmm. Fair enough, game. I will not grant you much, but I will grant you that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you might notice the bottom of the list. Yeah, that is the Golden Mask character. His name is Deuteronomy Bound.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Wasn't there some secret room with some Cuphead Devil characters? Are you talking about, are you speaking of the Room of Hold Habits? Well, we got the lore bit on that, but yes, indeed. We are, in fact, going to be seeing that. Because as he said when I went in there the first time, he needs a full deck of cards to be able to play. And, well, I've done very well collecting all of those, as we've seen. First off, again, Deuteronomy Bound, even though he's called the Gold Skull right there. It's like, it's such a silly name.
What does Deuteronomy Bound means? I know it's one of the books of the Bible.
Based on bonds, obviously being bound, but Deuteronomy, like that.
Mm-hmm.
What is like the exact definition of that here? I'm not even going to try and
I mean, I think it means something
like
with second. Like, is it the second set of laws or something?
Something like that. And here we are. God, I love the music in this room. It's so good. And yes, he even refers to you as Lucas when you bring him all the cards.
Mm-hmm.
It was always another option. Say it. Say it right now. I know you're gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
If you decide not to choose, you still have made a choice.
And there we go.
Oh, you knew I would say that.
Yeah, that's why I tossed that softball to you.
Okay, well, thank you. It's a Rush lyric.
So, needless to say, because Lucas Bonds was a raging gambling addict before this, that this might not be the best ending.
Mm-hmm.
Given the implications of what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? I'm just like looking here. It's just like, what changed? We're just back here.
Uh-huh.
Can I leave? No.
Oh.
You can hear music in the background.
Is this just does it restart the whole game?
I told you.
Oh, okay.
As it turns out, yes, the game does indeed end with all the characters being totally fine and dancing.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that, where I was able to lead right into this. Which, again, it's not a good ending. He fell right back into being addicted to gambling, but you know what I'm saying here. Certainly, I think it was still important to it, at the very minimum, just because I like the Demon's room music so much.
By the way, are they playing Everybody Dance now? Dun, 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 dun.
It's not called Everybody Dance now. It's called Gonna Make You Sweat by the CNC Music Factory.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
I didn't know that.
Also get a good look at everybody without the masks on, which is kind of hard to see in the normal game. Usually only after you save them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, while maybe not the best ending, it's like Well, it is an ending.
We're all back to life. You saved us all.
Sort of. But that then is the story of the Sexy Brutale, which for some reason, I don't know why this is how it ends the sequence, but whatever.
Oh, Deuteronomy is the 5th book of Moses, the last day alive for Moses.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense then. There we go.
Okay.
So let's watch the credits here. I almost actually forgot to include the credits in the game because I kind of skipped past it because I'm like, oh man, well, we got so much more content to do. But it's like, should probably throw it in here.
Yeah.
You know?
These are the people who made this game that we all enjoyed.
I liked it. Once again, just kind of like wrapping it up here. Really good game. 2 thumbs up. I had a great time. Would highly recommend. And then I accidentally I skipped it anyway because I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. Hopefully the credits were at least enough. Okay. Oh, man. I like that game. That game's good. It is a good game. Yeah,
it's a really solid game.
It's like I was watching credits is such a beautiful way to enjoy and recap a great game. Unfortunately, it kind of messed it up there. I mostly got it. It was the most of the credits were there. Whoops. And I forgot to do it earlier too, so I couldn't cut in the box.
Yeah.
Look, the credits were there. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I have been streaming for almost 7 hours. Let's fucking cut it here.
I'll send you the files. Yeah.
Send me the files. We'll get this one out. What do I got you on next then?
I don't know. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, yes, eventually. King's Quest? I think we're going to do King's Quest, right?
Yeah, probably.
So at some point in time, we're going to be doing a King's Quest stream. We'll look forward to that one. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Hard to say. As it is, though, it's like, oh, finally. Finished up Sexy Brutale. I've had that. Like, well, just curious. What was the date that I had on when like these were rendered? These were rendered on April 19th.
Well, yeah, but was that when did we start working on this?
Oh, when we started, that was back in January because remember we were doing Timeuary?
Oh, that's right. Timeuary, of course. That classic bit.
That classic bit. Good night, everybody. Or, well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.